Hi, it's Ava. So today we're going to talk about breakups. And unless you were one of those really lucky people who met your high school sweetheart and fell in love, got married, had the happiest, most abundant relationship of all time. Yay you, by the way. Congratulations, you're probably not watching this video. You're like the rest of us who didn't quite strike gold like that. You probably have had a breakup, or maybe you're experiencing a breakup and you just aren't quite sure how to move through it. I remember having those moments where you just feel like you can't quite figure out how to let go, right? There's a lot of emotion. Depending on how you feel, sometimes, for example, I remember one in particular in which I was so happy that it was over because I had felt stifled, suffocated even, was just so glad that I didn't have to go and deal with it anymore. I was joyous, which is, not about what this video is. So we're going to talk about those breakups that break our hearts. Those breakups that we end up going and spending hours of time awake in the middle of the night, thinking about the person, maybe regretting how things happened, trying to figure out maybe where things went wrong. We might even spend hours, days, months, or even longer, crying over it because the feelings that we had were so strong, they were so true, and they were transformative in some ways because they opened our hearts. And after a breakup, it's sort of natural energetic chemistry. When your heart is basically broken, we have this thing called a heart chakra, right? And it's the center of energy where our feelings of love sort of reside. That's what the energy of the heart is. It's the love piece. And so when we say our heart's been broken, that really is what that looks like. Energetically, it looks like all the energy in there is like a bunch of broken glass. And so trying to heal that is a process of allowance of your emotions. Crying, for example, that's something that I tend to be somebody who's very watery because that's my nature. So allowing myself to cry, to grieve that way is really important for me. Some people, for example, my sister, for example, she grieves for a couple days and then she sort of gets really angry because she's more fiery. And so she's more inclined to feel all of the rage at the fact that things didn't work out. I tend to feel the sorrow and the regret, and also sometimes I feel the other person's sorrow as well. And that's something to balance. And so depending on where you are in a breakup situation, maybe it's just occurred, maybe it's been a while and you're still feeling a little stuck. Maybe you're still feeling like you can't open yourself up to another person and trust them to love you or trust them with who you are because the other situation didn't either go well or the other person couldn't commit or maybe they betrayed you. Whatever the reasons, let's just go and sort of start through sort of the process in terms of how some natural things happen. Nothing is ever linear, right? So there's the shock sometimes. There's sometimes even just the decision, I need to end this. If you're the person who's ended it. If you aren't the person who's ended it, there can be a lot of confusion because perhaps you aren't yet willing to recognize the reasons that the other person wanted to. And maybe the reasons were completely their own. And I talk about, for example, in Goddesses Love Cock, I think, where, no, actually, I think it was Goddesses Are Sexy. Sorry, wrong book. My sister, who I just mentioned a little bit ago, she had her longtime partner break up with her and say he didn't love her anymore and that he didn't find her attractive. And she realized that there wasn't anything that she could do to change his mind, and she wasn't going to take it on because he was trying to blame it and put it on her. And she was just like, no, I'm not gonna take that on. I'm not gonna accept that. So wherever you are, I want you just to think about the relationship. Doesn't matter how long it was. I really truly do believe that you can love someone as fully as possible in a moment, and it can change your whole life. And you can be with somebody for a day, a few days, a few years, and the time sort of piece doesn't really matter. We have more maybe experiences. We have maybe more things together. If we've lived together, for example, if we get married, we have more stuff, we have more friends in common, we've knitted our lives together a little bit more. That's a little bit of a different piece, but I do believe that heart piece, the love that we feel that is hurt and that feels shattered, regardless of what the situation was. That's the piece to focus on and heal. So I want you to think about that relationship right now. Think about that person and call them to mind. You'll probably feel some emotions surfacing. I feel, since I'm big empath, I feel the confusion that some of you feel, the hurt, the depression, the anger, all of those. Let's just go and let those bubble up, because feeling those emotions that are stuck here, that's one of the biggest pieces to sort of healing and beginning that process. So take a deep breath. I shifted over because I've already shifted some of the energy out that I'm feeling for you guys. So take a breath again. And we're just going to call in a lot of calm, a lot of calm. Hopefully you believe that you have divine guides who are looking out for you. I really do believe that. It's center point of how I feel as a divine rock star. You have a lot of unseen forces who are ushering you and helping you in this process of healing and letting go, moving forward, opening yourself up fully again to love. Now I want you to take that person and I want you to sort of put them on a movie screen, if that makes sense. Whatever that looks like for you. Could be on a movie screen, actually. It could be just right in front of you. And if you're willing to say this with me, although you don't have to, because sometimes people aren't ready. I'm not ready to do this, but just bear with me. If you're willing to say it to that person. Thank you. I loved you. I bless you. I bless your path. I'm walking my own. I forgive you. I ask you to forgive me. Let's wipe the slate. Clean. Clear it. Take a deep breath. Lots is opening up here. You can also use whatever words are coming to mind for you too. And if you need to say what you said wasn't fair, or I'm still angry at you, you can say that too. But you also can say, I let that go right now. So if there's a few other things that you want to say, I'm just going to pause here and you can say them. Take a breath. Feel a lot of stuff bubbling up. If you need to pause this video and go on a rant, I always say you can put yourself in a big bubble and just go to town. Express, as we say, goddesses cry and say motherfucker. It's one of my books. It's because it's true. We have anger, we have sorrow, we're human beings. We are divine, yes, at our core, but we also have these emotions and other things that we need to express consciously. And this is a really good way to do that. So when you're ready, send that person off. Just let it dissolve. Or sometimes people see them fading back, letting the light envelop them, if that's what you see. Now I want you to say with me, I open my heart to more love right now. And repeat, and I clear all of the blockages, as many as want to go today. And just take a deep breath. I deserve love. Say it again with me. I deserve love. Wow, you feel the force of that? I felt that in my own heart. I deserve love. I deserve to have the best, most wonderful person love me. And if you want to go the big step, and I trust at some time, perfectly orchestrated by my divine self, it will happen. But right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to let go more. So when you take a deep breath, What other stories about this relationship are coming up? What other moments? Maybe some fights. Maybe that last encounter, last time you made love. Maybe it wasn't really making love, maybe it was something else, and that's kind of when you knew. Whatever it is, just let it filter up. And we're just gonna bless those memories. I like to put them in this feels like it needs to have some golden light around them. We're just gonna put some golden light around them. Take a deep breath. And we're just gonna push those out. Let all that energy go. All those stories, all those moments. And this is something that you can keep doing as you go through this process. Opening up like this is going to open up some more of those shattered pieces. You ever have that moment where you break a glass and you see the big pieces at first and your attention goes to them and you pick them up, but then when you get on the floor, suddenly you can see the smaller pieces, and sometimes, or maybe there's a few that are hidden. That's what that process is of opening up that broken heart. But you've done it. You've watched this. You've decided that you want to move past this hurt, this breakup, and you want to love again. Maybe you were just coming here because you were just like, I just can't be in this anymore. It hurts too much. That's okay. You're in the right place. And you are loved, and you are surrounded with all of the healing and all the comfort that you need. And if you have been so mad, maybe it feels like a relief to just finally let go of some of that. And let this process just keep continuing. Sometimes it takes a while for the heart to heal because there's a lot of pieces. Because once we get those shattered pieces out, it's like that sort of original and yet not original anymore heart, that newly changed heart that has this experience, needs to come through and sort of knit inside of us. The things we've learned, maybe we aren't going to sell ourselves short like we did last time. Maybe we're not going to let somebody talk to us early on in a relationship like this person did. Or maybe we're not going to sort of hide from ourselves some of the problems. But the biggest thing is that we're healing. That we're going to trust. That we have trusted today. That we do believe in love, and that we allow that process to keep unfolding. This is big work, big work, and it's brave work. And if there's one thing that you need for today is to know that this was huge, and you should really feel happy for yourself, because allowing ourselves to heal from hurts like this, from any hurts, is one of the most brave and loving things we can do for ourselves. And it does open us up to so much wonderful things to come in. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, and I know on those tough days where we just feel like we're never going to meet somebody maybe again, or we're never going to feel differently than we do right now, those moments, they do pass. But in the moment that you're in it, just try to breathe it out, try to let go, maybe try to go and speak the things that you need to speak in a safe space that's comforting and consciously for you. But you're moving through it. And if you need more encouragement, feel free to go and check out some of my books that I've got on this subject. Feel free to look at some of the other videos, but mostly take care of yourself and seek out the things that you know are going to be supportive to you and comforting to you, because that's really the best thing. But we all need encouragement, and that's one of the reasons that I'm here too, is to encourage you, because I know how much it can hurt. A lot of us do. And so allowing that process of healing to emerge, it's a really powerful thing.